Hello, I'm going to be doing a prenatal yoga session today, and instead of it being like me guiding you and doing like a whole series of flows, I'm actually just going to start with going through all of these different poses that you can do, and I'm just going to talk about each one. I'm planning on also later this week uploading a video that is a sequence of, it's like a whole session, about an hour, or there's also a 40-minute one I can do and a 20-minute one. So this is kind of just to introduce baby prenatal poses for mothers who are about to have babies. I am not a mother, but I have this little guy, and so I'm gonna pretend today. So the first thing I want to show y'all is this most simplest position, or not position, but movement. This is very simple warm-up exercise. We're just rocking, and you can let your arms gently hit either side. We're just rocking. All right, that's easy. That's where it starts, is the easy stuff. And then we can move on to another pose that I like. Is called pelvic circles. So mommies can get into a position where it's comfortable. Feet can be, shoulder width or a little bit wider apart, and we're just rolling the hips around. So this one is pelvic circles. All right, pelvic circles. All right, another one you could do, and this is going to be, it's standing up, it's a cat-cow position, but you're not actually on your knees. It's basically where you're going to bring your hands down to your knees and just focus on curling and arching that spine through cat-cow. Oh, I'm making a video. Shit, my bad.
So yeah, they're screwed.
So, cat-cow, just modified for pregnant woman. The Sanskrit term for cat-cow is Chakravaskana, Chakravaskana, and cow is Gomukasana. All right, so another one that I want to show you, this one can be used either as a warm-up, can be used as like a high intensity pose, or also during your cool down. This is just prenatal lunges. And what we do here is we're not really going to be getting down on the floor. You can use a chair to kind of help stabilize you. But we're just doing lunges here. Let me go back and make sure I'm doing it correct. All right, yeah, so feel free to use a chair to start. Now, if you feel good and you want to try to get down onto your knees, it's probably not terrible. You just need to be careful not to overextend, or don't do too much back bending. So if you put the chair at the front of your mat, or you can have a block here on the side, we'll come to all fours, and then stepping 1 foot forward, you can use this block to help stabilize you as you just move forward into a lunge. Make sure this front heel is aligned with the knee. And you're also stepping a little bit wider with this front foot to make room for baby. All right, and then feel free to even it up on the other side. I'm just going to be lunging very gently. And again, if you really don't want to get all the way down on your knee, that's fine. You can also just start with the chair. All right. The next one I want to do is prenatal dancer. Now, it's kind of just like a quad stretch. So this one you're going to need a chair, but instead of dancer, which is where you're holding your leg out behind you, we're just going to hold on to the foot and gently pull that ankle towards the glute. So keeping that knee in line with the hip bone. And if you can balance here, even better, take your hand off the chair. Focus on keeping that alignment, shoulders back and down, relaxed into their sockets. And we're really just focused on drawing that knee down towards the ground. That is where you're going to feel most of it is right here in this quad. And then you can switch sides. Make sure you've got your balance. So aligning the knee with the hip and then just drawing that knee down towards the floor. You're really going to feel that quad stretch there. But we're not trying to lift the leg up behind like real dancer. This is prenatal dancer. All right, the next thing we can do is our L-shaped standing L pose. This one you might want a chair or a wall is also good. But you're gonna wanna make your feet shoulder width apart and above your hips, right under your hips. Then placing your hands on a chair, we're just hinging at the hips and coming into this L-shaped position here. So there's L-shaped stretch. Make sure we've got enough room for the baby. You can make your feet a little wider if you need to. And we're just breathing here. Thinking about softening in the knees. Breathing, listening to your body. Feeling your body and connecting with baby. All right, the next one is called the prayer squat or garland. And for this one, it sounds scarier than it is. It's not scary at all because we're prenatal, we're gonna have a chair. So what you're gonna do is come down into a seated position on the chair. And from seated, we will be basically shifting the weight forward and just lifting that booty off the chair just a few inches. So taking our legs slightly wider than hip distance apart. You can either start from seated and move into this chair pose, prayer squat, or you can start from mountain. So if you start from mountain, it looks more like this. But again, feel free to take a seat and just focus on shifting that weight very nice and slowly. See if you can hold here if you want. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll come back up. Moving to the next pose I want to show you is called supported dolphin. Now this one's kind of like the L-shaped stretch, but it's a little bit deeper because we're going to be putting most of the weight on the elbows. So with your chair facing you, what we're going to do is take your elbows down to the chair and then bending the knees, just start to shift that spine, poking your tailbone out and lowering the heart a little bit lower. Now, if you want to, you can also start this one from all fours. So if you're starting this from all fours, you can also come down right here, place your elbows onto the chair, and then gently relaxing the shoulders and the chest towards the floor as we straighten the legs. You do want your knees to stay under the hips. You don't want our knees too far back. Make sure our hips are in line with your knees. And we're trying to get that straight line from our tailbone to the top of our head. Okay. So that's called supported dolphin. Now, another pose we're going to go through is called seated pigeon. It's another good one for in the middle of your practice. It's kind of a deeper stretch. Now what you can do is sit in a chair, and it's very simple. All you're going to do is try to lift one leg like you were going to cross your legs and just place the ankle on your knee. So we're just coming into a seat on our chair, the feet planted on the floor or a block nearby. You lift that leg and put it on the knee, the opposite leg. And then focusing just on opening the hips. So we're really just feeling our bodies start to surrender into that hip opener. Flexing the ankle and pressing through our right heel to protect that ankle. And we're just gently opening the hips. So on the other side, you've got your right heel passing the left knee, flexing that right foot, and then gently just trying to open the hips a little bit more. Not trying to force anything, and we're definitely not getting down on the floor to do the pigeon. All right, the next one is seated straddle split. Oh, I'm sorry, not split. Seated straddle twist. And for this one, it's pretty simple. We don't need a chair for it. We're actually just gonna take a seat on the mat. This can be used as a cool down pose. We're gonna take a seat on the mat and make the feet wide as you can comfortably. Sitting up straight on your tailbones. And then just gently, we're gonna start to twist the torso. Not forcing anything, but just gently twisting the torso here, seated in a straddle, wide straddle seated position. Feeling the sweetness of the twist, the upper spine. You can even look back behind you for that. Lifting the crown of the head tall will really help to enhance the stretch here. This helps to create core stability. Make sure your knees are softened and the shoulders are just relaxed back and down. All right, next one is the seated heart opener. Seated heart openers are very easy as well. We're gonna sit on our mat this direction, and feet are about hip distance a little bit more than hip distance apart. But to do the heart opener, we want our fingers pointed towards our hips or out to the side here, not behind us like this. So towards the hips, and we're just lifting the chest up here. We're not even really taking the sit bones off the mat. We're just pressing down through the shoulders to lift that heart up. And you should feel the lower back. You're taking out some tension out of that lower back and extending the spine at the top. And that thoracic vertebra. All right. Be careful on this one. Don't rest too much weight on your hands, and don't let the head fall back aggressively. You can lean the head back here, but there's no reason to just sink it back down. All right, yogi push-ups are next. These are from a kneeling plank position. We can get into a yogi push-up. So basically we have our knees grounded and we're moving into sort of a plank position. For this pose, we don't want to come down too far at all. You don't want to overstrain or even hold the breath. So making sure that we are not letting the back sag if possible, but keeping the breath flowing. And this is just to build some strength to support us. We feel that core stability here. Now, if you want to add a little bit of flexion, that's fine. You can add a little bit of elbow flexion here, but we are not trying to rest the weight on the baby at all. Okay, the next one is called Sleeping Baby. This one is very comfortable, and you may actually have a pillow that will suit you for this already, but I'm going to use a block because I don't really have a pillow with me. But essentially, you're going to be coming down onto your side, and if you have a pillow here for your head, that's great, and putting a pillow or a blanket in between your legs and just resting here. This is a great cool down stretch, a good way to just feel that radiance of your heart and really be present with your baby. Closing your eyes and allowing your body to kind of melt into the floor. And of course, you can always do that on the other side as well. All right, the next one I want to show you is called Reclining Queen. And this one is good to have a pillow for your back. I'm going to see if I can grab one from over here so I can show you. So if you've got like a pillow for your back, that's wonderful. You can also have something for your hips if you want. I'm not going to use one. We're really just going to be trying to, elevating the back a little bit. Having a pillow or maybe even an exercise ball could help. We are just going to lean back, slightly elevated torso, and then pressing the knees out to the sides, keeping the feet touching, the soles of the feet touching. This is the reclined queen butterfly. Make sure that you do have enough support in this one. If you need to get 2 or 3 pillows up behind your back, or if you want to, if you have like a bolster, those work really well because they're a little more firm. But all right, the next one is just a seated heart meditation. This is great to do with your partner. If you've got time, have your partner sit across from you, and we're going to face each other in an easy seated position, knees to knees, and then placing our right hand on the other person's heart, closing our eyes, and then taking our left hand to our belly. We can send feelings of love to each other, taking several deep breaths here, letting go of any barriers that we may have. This is about feeling the energy of connection as we link our hearts with one another. So left hand on the belly, right hand on the heart of your partner. They will have their left hand on their belly and their right hand on your heart. All right, the shoulder release. This is another one that you can do with a partner. The shoulder release, you have mom sitting on the floor in a easy seated pose. The partner stands behind, and from there the partner just places hands on the shoulders gently. So it's as if you had somebody behind you just gently pressing your shoulders down. So making sure that the partner, we're not rounding the back, and we're not bending the elbows when they press down. We're just gently holding with the heel of our hand down a few inches. I wish I had my husband in here, he could show you how to do it. But that one's pretty much just pressing down on the shoulders. Heart and butterfly is another partner's pose. And basically what you would do is you have your partner sit behind you back to back, and having our legs in butterfly position, you would basically alternate pressing the back forward and shifting the weight back. Hey babe, are you out there? Never mind, he's not gonna come in here. Yeah, but just moving forward and back, I'm imagining a person behind me doing the same motion with their back against mine. Okay. Diamond, we got 2 more after this. Diamond is a good one for partners as well. You're gonna have somebody facing you, but your legs are gonna be wide like this, and you hold hands. And you just gently move backward and forward this way. Trying not to round in the lower back. We're not rounding here, but we're trying to keep that heart lifted up and the hips hinging here. If you need to, soften the knees and focus on breathing and keeping the spine long. All right, that's diamond. Feet would be touching. Double owl is also kind of like the heart butterfly, except for we're going to be seated in an easy seated pose, and the person will be having their back against yours, but instead of leaning forward and back or anything, we're just twisting. So they'll twist to their left and you twist to your left, and then you'll twist to the right and they will twist to the right. This one's about feeling the synchronization of the body and the breath as they twist and as we twist together. Try not to twist too deeply. There's no reason to force anything. We're not trying to take the stretch into the belly at all. We're just trying to gently, mostly just in the shoulders, okay? All right. And then the last one I want to show you is called 2 trees or 2 moons. For the 2 trees, you're going to have your partner next to you, arms across the shoulder, And we're gonna take the other arm like this. So if you're on the right hand up, you take your right leg to tree, and you're just balancing in tree with a partner here. They would have their left hand up. Oh no, they would have their right hand up too. But they'd be facing the same direction. No, I had that wrong. If it's right hand up, you're going like this. If you're on the other side, you'll have your left hand up. That's right. Sorry, I'm not trying to confuse you. It would help if I had a partner. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for watching. I hope this is helpful, and please just remember that, full disclaimer, I am not a doctor and I'm not giving you advice on how to take care of your body. I'm just trying to show you some good prenatal poses that you can do as an expecting mom. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Bye.